Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to Planet Cryos. NVMe and SATA M.2 enclosures, what are they? And how can they be used? Stick around to find out. So, I know it's been a while since I did a last video. It's because I went on vacation and then I became pretty sick. But I am back, hopefully, to spit out, a couple videos at least per month now again. But in the meantime, I went ahead and I actually ordered myself a couple of shirts. And they're actually the same. Both shirts are the same. I actually ordered two sizes to see which one fit better. So, let me know what you guys think. I just got my logo on the front here. I was contemplating on putting the Planet Cryos on the bottom, but I decided not to. So I just got the logo here, and in the back, check that out. Got the logo and the full name, and then the YouTube.com on the back, which I thought was pretty cool, and I kind of slanted that. So, yeah, just let me know what you think about the t-shirts. I actually got some... not some business cards, but I went ahead and played around with just cards that I could hand out on random in case somebody asked, oh, what YouTube, channel do you have? And I could just whip them out a card. But let me show you the card quick. So basically, it's just my logo on the front. And on the back, it has my logo again. And then, of course, the YouTube address. Along with just some other random stuff on there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. It's pretty cool. Had to order 100 of them, so I'm sure I've only gave out a couple so far. But anyway, so let's get on with what we are here for. So M.2 enclosures, whether it be for NVMe or SATA. Now, I touched briefly on this subject back quite a few videos ago when I was suggesting what to do with old hard drives or SSDs. You can look up that video, or I'll link it right here up in the right-hand corner for you guys. It'll pop up right there. But I just quickly mentioned a couple of them that I had back then. I've since have a few more, and they're pretty cool. This one's one of my favorite ones. I'm going to explain what they are and how you can use them. So, basically, the M.2 is the form factor. It's just the size and the connection. It's really the connection, not the size. The size would be the length or something like that. But the M.2 is the form factor of the actual connector, what the connector looks like and what can plug into it. So, when I say NVMe, it's relative to the speed and the bus at which this can, either M.2 or the computer can handle, right? So whatever the motherboard and the CPU can handle as far as speed goes. So SATA is what people have been used to and what people might still be used to, in the industry and in private sector. But so SATA basically it maxes out at about 550 megabytes per second. NVMe has a vast range of how fast they can go. It depends on what you're buying. It really depends. They can vary from a couple thousand, like 1,000, 2,000 megabytes per second to 3,000, 4,000, and now we're in Gen 4. NVMe, which is upwards around 7,000 to 8,000 megabytes per second. Okay, so with that said, though, so this one's one of my favorite, and like I said, this one's by Asus, and this is kind of like the Rogue STRIX edition. So when you plug it in, it lights up, and it's kind of cool. It's a nice enclosure. It's not fast. You can't change them out fast with this one. So there's a lot to go over here, so I'm going to do it as fluently and as quickly as possible, so this is still short and sweet for you guys. So, basically, if you buy an M.2 SSD, this is an old one that I've shown before. This came out of my original build. This is a Samsung Evo 960. This will run at speeds of about 3,400 for the reads, and for the writes, it's a little lower than that, maybe like 2,800. But you see the connector on here? See how it's got a slit right in the middle? It's got a notch. That's how you can tell it's NVMe. If it doesn't say so, it does say it right here up above the letters. It does say NVMe. But that's another way you can tell. This one, you can tell it's got 2 notches. And sometimes it'll even say, it won't say on it, it'll just say maybe SATA, or will not say NVMe. But this one is a SATA connector. But they are both M.2 form factor. So that is the difference. You got SATA, NVMe, but they're both M.2. So you got to be careful when you're doing these, when you're plugging them into your motherboard or any of these enclosures. The enclosures are getting better to where you can have either one of these in, but especially in the past, you have to be careful which one you're plugging into. So, for instance, this one, I believe, can do both. I'm not 100% sure, and I wish I knew, but I've had it for quite a while now, but I only keep an NVMe in here. But this will do NVMe. I just don't know if it'll do SATA. So just when you're buying it, in the description, just read the description. So here's another one. This is, I wrote on the back, this is made by Orico, sorry. And I've written on it 10 gigabits per second, which is the equivalent of about 1,000 megabytes per second. And this one is NVMe only. Sometimes it'll say, I got a little shadow casting there. I got my light in the back, so. But anyway, it'll say right on there what it can do. This is NVMe only, and you have to have, some are thumb drive where you can just push them out, but this one you have to plug in a USB-C to here and go to your computer USB-C type A or type C. Again, coming back to this one you have to plug in also. It's type C here. I have another one here. I believe this one is NVMe also. And I'm just checking. It doesn't actually say on this, but I do have written on the back 10 gigabits per second, which is faster than any SATA can go anyway. So I know that this is NVMe, but this might be able to do both also. But if we come around to the packages, I will show you. So this one, you can see on it, it says USB 3.2 SSD enclosure. Suitable for M.2 NVMe SSD supports. So this will support up to 20 gigabits per second, which is the equivalent of 2,000 megabytes per second, roughly. Maybe a little bit more than that. And then we come around to another of the same brand here. And this one looks like it does NVMe also. So it looks like maybe all mine do only NVMe. There's a possibility it could. It's not going to hurt you to put a SATA one in one of these and try it. You're not going to hurt the hard drive or anything about it. It just won't read it. This one's got RGB on it. This one's actually brand new, still in the package. Looks like it will go up to only 10 gigabits per second. So again, that's about 1,000 megabytes per second, or 1,000 megabytes per second. And then I have another one here, which is kind of cool. I took this one out. This one is from Sabrent. This is a USB 3.2. This is actually waterproof, IP67 rating, tool-free enclosure. This will do both. You see down here? SATA, NVMe. You got waterproof or water resistant, really. It's not waterproof. You're not going to submerge this. And it's Type C. So this one's pretty nice. It's got some facts on the back. I'll try to put, I will put links to all of these that I have purchased. I'll put them down in the comments down below. So go ahead and check those out if you want them. I'm not going to hook up any of these and start testing. I've already done that. Hence the reason why I know what these can read on the back, because I have tested these ones. But I am going to go ahead and show you a little bit like about specifically this one and maybe one other one. Like I said, I don't want this video too long, but this had a little cover that came with. And this has, right next to it, you can see a little pinhole. So you're going to take one of those things you get with like your cell phones, but this came with one. And he put it right in there, and you'll watch, hopefully this top, see that top come up? Well, it did come up. Okay, so I might have to have two hands here. Oop. And that comes up and exposes the M.2 that I have in there. And currently I have, I think, a 2 terabyte. So you can see it's a 2 terabyte in there. Most all these will hold up to about 2 terabytes, maybe 4. These do have little heatsink pads on them because this does get a little bit warm. So that's one of them. These other ones, what you have to do to open them, you have to take the screwdriver it came with, or get a really good, I would recommend getting a good quality screwdriver so you don't strip these out. But these are fairly quick to change. It's only going to take you about 60 to 90 seconds to change one of these out. It's pretty fast. Same goes for this one that I showed you. It's got a screw up here, and then the whole enclosure just basically slides apart, slides out, and that'll expose what's in there. If we go to our tool-free one, this one I've kind of had open, as you might have saw. And in the package comes with some dumb instructions that hardly anybody cares about, but it also comes with 2 cables. One is the Type C to the Type A connector, and the other is a Type C to Type C. You got a couple thermal pads it comes with. This one's a little beefier. It's a little thicker than compared to some of these. You can see the thickness difference. If I can get that on there. So it's a little thicker. One's a little longer too. But this one has this little spot back here. You put your thumb or finger in it, and you open it like that. Twist it. So now it's in the 90-degree mark, and then it pulls off. I say it pulls off. Did I lock it? Nope. Hang on a second. There we go. It was a little in there. So it's definitely sealed because it is waterproof. I kind of forgot already about it. So that's part of the problem why it was so tough to get out. But as we can, lost a little nub there. So as you can see in here, pretty straightforward. This little piece right here fell out. It's a little rubber piece. And basically that goes in any one of these 3 spots depending on the length of your solid state drive that you're going to put in there, or your M.2. So let's say we were going to put an M.2 in this one. You can use these as storage. So you can buy yourself one of these, and it can be portable. So you put it in there, just like so. And now you got that springboard effect, just like on the PCs. You would put this little rubber piece on, and then put it down Actually, put the rubber piece in first, I think. Let me just figure this out. Let me figure it out. So we got our rubber piece back in there. Right there. But you can see it's hitting the rubber piece. So you have to kind of bend the rubber piece out of the way a little bit. This is actually not super easy. I wonder if you put it on the... Okay, so I'm going to try it this way. I put it on the M.2 first. Okay, that seemed to work. And then I just kind of push a little sideways and put it in there. And boom, that's installed. And you put your cover back on. When you put your cover back on, you can go ahead and plug this into it. Take your other end, put it in the computer. And if you're buying a brand new... Alright, let's go ahead and say you bought a brand new M.2 NVMe. You installed it in here. What you have to do is you actually have to plug this in and you have to initialize this drive. If you do not know how to initialize the drive, that is the second video you need to go watch of mine. And go ahead and search for initializing drive, or I will put it down in the comments. I will also try to put a little link here for you to click on. But you can go ahead, you have to initialize the drive so you can utilize the drive. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to see it. The computer might make a noise when you plug it in, but you're not going to be able to see the drive or do anything with it until you initialize it. It's just the way these are. It's like with any new drive that you're just going to use for storage, you have to initialize it. Same goes for the SATA, not just the NVMe, the SATA ones too. So that's the way that these work. And then you can label your drive. But again, go ahead and watch that video. I explain exactly in detail how to do that. All right, so I need to explain to you very clearly. Any one of these that you buy, if you buy an NVMe, if you hook this up to a 2.0 port, USB port, or if you hook it up to a 3.0 port, you may not be getting the full max speeds out of this. You've got to look at your user's manual if you've built your PC, or really if you bought it, but you got to know if it's a 2.0 port, you're going to be sad and disappointed about these speeds. If it's a 3.0 port, one of these might be fine, but it only goes up to, that'd be only good for SATA. You need a USB 3.2 Gen 2. If not, you need a Gen 2x2. And that's the difference between 10 gigabits per second and 20 gigabits per second. So you got to understand the difference in the speeds. You can't just hook these up to any USB port and expect to have the results it is claiming on the box. Okay, so here is the other one here from Orico. All right, this is only, I believe, 10 gigabits per second. Yes, it's only 10, but this has RGB if you like to be flashy. It's got RGB. This is not toolless. You do have to remove that screw in the back to probably lift the cover. That's what it's looking like it does. And this also has the Type-C connector on here. However, in the box, it does come with, like every other one does, it comes with 2 different cables for hooking up to either Type-C USB connector on your computer or Type-A USB connector on your computer. But again, I can't emphasize it enough. Make sure you're hooking it up to the correct USB port so you are not disappointed. All right, can you guys see? I connected the Rogue STRIX one by Asus down here, and you can see the lights changing color. At least I hope you can. So let me just dim this light here. Alright, so you can see the light here changing colors. Pretty cool. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for me, but I'm going to leave you with 3 final things that you need to know about this just to imprint it in your brain just a little bit more. One is, what SSD M.2 are you buying? Is it NVMe or is it SATA? Second, what enclosure? Make sure the enclosure matches the SSD that you have or that you're going to buy. And 3, make sure you know what USB port you're plugging it into, for the love of God, so you know how fast it's going to go and what your expectations of it will be. Otherwise, until next time, guys, take care.